Good evening to all my fellow spiritually ratchet friends and family. Welcome to all of our new and curious. Just to catch you up, Spiritually Ratchet is a visual podcast that you can catch me on every Sunday evening live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. After that, I'll send out the audio podcast version on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere else that the Anchor streaming allows me to stream to. So who's Spiritually Ratchet? I'm Spiritually Ratchet. I'm Arbra, not Barbara. And I'm on my walk. I'm on my spiritual path to a deeper relationship with God. But at the same time, I'm just like you. I'm a sinner. I have questions. I've got habits. I've got views. I've got experiences. And they're not all squeaky clean. So I created a safe place for me and for people like me to talk about it. This is a judge-free zone. We'll discuss things that are too holy for the ratchet and too taboo for the spiritual. There'll be strong language, trust me on that. There will be adult content. I swear to God, adult is probably not even a strong enough word. There will be unpopular opinions. So this is definitely for the 18 and up, and not a place where if you don't mind discussing the hard stuff and being uncomfortable, you can leave now. But there also will be tons of jokes. There will be understanding. There will be building of bridges. There will be love. There will be prayer. And prayerfully, there will be healing. Thank you again for hanging out with me, and enjoy the show. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? I can hear you okay.
I'm so excited to have y'all here. Everybody give a warm welcome to the Gordons. We want to welcome y'all to Spiritually Ratchet. And our topic tonight is dating and marriage, the married edition. So tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're here.
Well, I'm Kelsey Danielle, and I have been married to my wonderful person for the last 20 years. Well, we've been together for 21 years. And I can tell you off top that it is not it is not for the faint, okay? Marriage and relationships overall are work. They're work. So the reason why I'm here is because I am what you call, I'm not the specialist, but however, I am into the love and relationships. And I have my own series for the 30, I call it the 35 and Up Club series on love and relationships and what has gone wrong. But however, I've been told that need to be 30 and up.
I need that class. Where do I sign up?
You can sign up, Arbor. You can sign up. Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris. So I am all about love and relationships, and I have ventured off into the life coaching of love and relationships. So really, what it is it's a compilation of love and relationships from a romantic standpoint, but also from a platonic and just relationships, period, whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it be all facets. And that's where my passion and my gift lies. And it just has spilled over into what you see today.
I love it.
So
Look,
that's
I'm going to meet you after the show because since you've been home for COVID, I have gotten, I want to say 7 more certifications, and I know one that you
right. Right.
I got one
right
there for you. I'm excited. So Ken, you're sitting all quiet. We don't allow that here. You can't be quiet on this show.
Oh no, I was allowing her to get all hers out so I can have my space to do mine. But again, I'm Ken, and I've been married to the beautiful Miss Kelsey for 20 years. Like she said, we've been together for 21 years. The biggest thing I can say is there's old songs and even new songs that come out that say the same thing it took to get your baby hooked is the same thing you got to do to keep them, and that rings extremely true. It doesn't matter how far along you get in your relationship.
One more time for the hard-headed people.
Hard-headed people, do the same shit you was doing in the beginning today.
Whether it's 3 months, 3 years, 30 years.
It does not matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You gotta
do all the stuff you was doing, to woo that woman. All them. Well, Kelsey and I kind of met before texting and stuff got together. That's telling our age. But then 21 years, that's a lot of time. So, we met when pagers was still the thing. Okay, we used to send, the 143 texts and stuff like that. We used, messages on the pager. We used to send, when we was trying to be nasty, we would send a little 6ix9ine text, to say, hey, come through. The same type of stuff that you did now. That people, it's like. Hey, it is what it is.
I don't have no pearls. I am not prepared for this today. Normally, I got jokes.
You better be prepared. Let me put it like this. I spent about 15, 16 years in ministry, Kelsey, before I stepped away from the church. And that's its own thing in and of itself. Yeah. I still love the Lord. I still love God, but I don't like religion. I don't like church.
We will definitely,
and I will tell you about
some questions about that because we are spiritually ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in my intro, I'm definitely building my relationship with God and finding my spiritual path, but that doesn't always coincide with what church says. So I have some questions for you. Before I get
that's no problem because I've been behind
that. Everybody who knows me is usually looking at my bed or my office wall right now, and obviously this is not it. So I'm letting y'all know where I'm at. I am over at the Jazz Because Art Center here in Dallas, and you can find us online at jazzbecauseac.com. And we have an upcoming concert on Tuesday that we'll be doing virtually. So you won't be able to be in the building, but it's going to be Jeannie Perkins. I don't know. Can we do that? Yes, there we go. Jeannie Perkins, she'll be here on the 22nd. Be sure to find us on Facebook and join live. And then there'll be ways to tip all of our performers through Venmo and Cash App. And I'll give you that information shortly. So let's see here. Chris, is that the hello? I don't speak pager anymore.
Yeah, that's hello. Look it upside down.
Yeah, that's the hello. That's the hello.
Okay, so
look it upside down.
My first question is this. I have obviously already been married. Everybody who knows me knows that I've already done that. And it didn't work for various reasons. So now I'm in this dating world. And it's ghetto out here. Like, for real, for real. There's definitely pee in this pool. What do I need to do?
Well, can you want to start? Or you want?
Go ahead, ladies first. Ladies
you want
first.
to start, or you want me? Okay, well, let me just tell you, it's wretched as hell out here. I could not. And when I show you, it doesn't matter what type of lifestyle you're in, or alternative love styles, if you will, whether you're or non-monogamous. In my humble opinion, it is trash. And it's not so much as Arbor what you're doing. It's, to me, what we have ventured off into from a societal norm, because we have gotten far away from actual dating and communicating with one another in a right way, to where no one wants to do it properly. I mean, both ways. It gotten so far off the path. We have totally gotten far off the path. We really have. And
I completely agree.
And when you say, what are you doing wrong? I don't think that anybody is doing anything particularly wrong. I think that it boils down to the communication of when you first meet one another and actually have the initial conversation when you're dating. And I say this all the time. and this is one that makes my entire ass itch is
Yeah.
the WID, the WIA, the send the pic. That is not dating and courting me. And so when you say, what are you doing wrong?
See, I'm gonna ask.
Well, what you're doing wrong is that you're not feeding into what he has planned for you. He has something totally different planned for you than what you have. And Kelsey would struggle in this dating form right now because there are certain things in the form that you still should have when you're courting and dating. And I'm big on let's bring courtship back. So say, what have you done wrong? I don't think that men and women are doing anything particularly wrong. I think it boils down to the communication and me. And you may have something here.
Ken, what you have to say? And then I got questions.
Let me explain something before I answer the question about what I do now. And I don't know if you know, part of what I do currently in my career is security, and I do all different forms. I do personal bodyguard protection. I do I do money trucks for driving the money trucks from here to there, and I also do the club scene. Now, being that I do the club scene, I see it all.
Kelsey,
women
is a whole bottle.
Are looking for. I see that. Women are looking for. Women are looking for benefactors. Men are looking for concubines. That's really the long and the short of it.
Concubines.
I mean,
because the thing about it is, okay, let's put it this. Mm-hmm. The thing about it is, nobody's really looking for a relationship anymore. Everything is transactional now. It is truly transactional. Like, you get a girl's number at the club or whatever, or you get a young lady's number from somewhere where you just meet them. I kid you not, 9 times out of 10, the guy's gonna ask for some sex. The girl's gonna ask for some money. It's not. I don't want to call it prostitution, but I call it the relationships are becoming transactional. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what can you do for me? Well, I can give you a little piece of ass if you give me some cash. Okay. $40. And a lot of guys will do that, and guess what? They're in and out, and they move on. Go ahead. What is that?
That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. The $40.
And they're fucking it up for everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly. Because honestly, for whatever reason, that's not. And guess who made that number up? Women did, and I'm gonna tell you why. A woman, it started from like, a guy would just meet a girl.
Let's clarify.
A dumb young woman. Now let me put it to you like this: you mess with a grown woman, it's not about transaction. Why? Because a grown woman tell you, I got my own money, I can do my own stuff, I can pay my own bills, I drive my own car, hell, I got my own house. I'm looking for, what can you add to that? Because I already got my own damn table. I said it, and I can eat off of it by my goddamn self. But I'm willing to open my table up to you, but you got to put something on that motherfucking table before anything goes down. That's what a grown woman, a respectable woman, is going to do. One of these young girls, these girls who have low self-esteem and all that kind of stuff, they looking for these purses. They looking for some money, they looking for a trip or whatever the case may be. But then once that's all done, dude is going off back. He probably got a family or at least a woman and a child somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And you at your house with the mattress on the floor. You got this pretty purse that he bought you. You got this nice expensive vacation that he took you on, but your house is trash. And oh, by the way, you got a baby by some nigga that you can't even stand. And excuse my mouth, but that's just the truth.
I have so much to say about that. First and foremost, the $40 chick. Them bitches are dumb, and this is why. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. If you go to a strip club, one song usually lasts about 3 minutes, 3.5, and they don't even dance the whole song, but it's $20
right for
those 3 minutes
for a lap dance. Mm-hmm.
So 2 lap dances is $40. That's less than 7 minutes, and you can't touch. Are you telling me you're not worth more than that? You a dumb bitch. Second,
That's what they're telling you.
like, I can't even wrap my head around that. But oof.
Okay.
But why is it that we are at a point where, like, I myself, I have my own. I don't need you for nothing. I want you for a companion. I want you for added stability. I want you for extras. I bring a table to the table. And we can't get anything because the $40 chicks and the ones that just want to look good on your arm are taking over.
And the reason for that is partially it's a fault on both sides. Men stopped doing what it took to get a woman to actually woo, court, date, get into a actual real relationship with a woman, because of the simple fact that a woman now will just give up the sex for a few different reasons. I mentioned money, but there's also attention. You know, because some women think the only way they can get attention from a man is by taking off the clothes.
False.
And that's part of what it is. You know, some women think that the only way they can get something from a man is to be able to offer him her body. A man, I will tell this to every woman: your body will not give you a man. Your body will give you just what it gets: dick.
It will get you.
Thank you.
And it
Can
may
you
not
say
even be
that
good.
again? Your body will.
It may not even be good.
Your body may not. It might be trash dick. Trash dick. Meaning you done gave it up, and now you over there like, why the hell did I give him my jewels and my good cookies, and I wasn't even satisfied at the end of the night?
And
trash is
and
what I call it. That's the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can I get you can't get it back?
Because that's the thing. Because now you want. Yeah, because now you want a pussy refund, but you can't get a pussy refund. So hopefully you got Bob over there in the drawer that can help finish you off.
If not, I sell them.
But again, that's what you want. But again, you wanted to have that attention, that closeness with a person, with a man, and that bond that only lasted you about 5-10 minutes tops. Because let's face it, fellas, a lot of cats can't last more than minutes. And that's just I'm just being I ain't trying to pour salt on nobody's game. And you can go all night, brother, more power to you. But most cats can't go no more than 5-10 minutes.
And we're not trying to go all night. We got shit to do. Let's just be clear.
Yeah, and again,
So the problem that I run into the most is my expectations are too high.
No, they're not.
And
we're gonna get to that because
I'm extremely blunt with my communication. I'm gonna tell you what I like, when I like, how I like, and you can join or get the fuck out. So I usually hurt a lot of people's feelings. My bad.
Kelsey.
Okay, so go ahead.
In 20 years, how many years out of those 20 years have you hurt my feelings?
All 20.
Goddamn right. All 20. She didn't hurt my feelings as recently as yesterday. And guess what? You gotta be here's the thing. Women aren't being ladies and men aren't being men. It's just simple as that. And what I mean by that is it's okay to have your standards. That's part of being a lady. If a man wants you, he's gonna rise to those standards. If a man really wants you, he's gonna rise to those standards. If you hold to but you got to hold to your standard. That's the problem. A woman will get so close to a man and so involved and so invested in him sometimes, and he's not quite there or he's nowhere near there. And a woman has invested herself into this man, and that man is just over here stringing you along for whatever you can get, what he can get from him. And once he gets it, he hits the door.
let me say this. Women talk too much. Women talk too much. Shut up. Shut up. You tell him everything about you in the first damn text message or the first phone call. He ain't got nothing to look forward to because you done gave him the keys to the kingdom. You done said everything about you. He ain't got nothing to work for, search for, nothing. That's not getting to know you. Getting to know you is giving him sprinkles and crumbs as he proves himself to you. Because at the end of the day, all women want the guy that he claims to be. He claims to be this and that. That's who he wants to show up. Women talk entirely too much. What's your favorite color? What would you like to see yourself in 5 years? Shut up. Let him ask you and let him get to that. He can ask you that, but don't give him all that. That's why I say cut out the WYB texting and where you at texting. That's another reason why. Because that's not a form of conversation. That's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So when you say that, no, we talk too much. We give everything out, and just to Kendrick's point, he ain't got nothing to work for because you have basically gave him the blueprint to your pussy. If you done told him you like this, you like this, you like this, you like this, and you done already told him all that, just to believe he's making mental note of everything you just said. So especially if you talk about what happened in your last relationship, then he's making a mental note. I ain't gonna do that. Okay, so again, everybody puts on their reference
because they do the exact same shit as the last one.
Exactly, they do the exact same thing, but they did enough for you to gap your legs open. They did just enough to gap your legs open, so you go ahead and go on and give up the pussy. And it don't work like that. And it doesn't work like that even in this 20-year relationship. Kendrick still has to do work. He still got to chase me a little bit.
Work don't stop.
It don't stop. I call it the road and the coyote syndrome. Okay? The road running coyote. Y'all remember that cartoon? Y'all remember that cartoon when we was kids? The coyote road runner, they be out there on that dirt, they be running and chasing. Now what happens when the coyote finally gets the road runner?
Did y'all remember that episode?
Yeah.
When he actually finally caught the road runner? I'm talking about when he legit caught the road runner. That one episode when he legit caught him, he held up the sign because he always hold up a little sign. He says, "Now what do I do?"
He don't know what to do. It's the same.
That's what happens to men. Men get in that stage. We chase, and we catch you. Now it's like, okay, what do we do?
And that's
the thing about it is and that's what happens. What the joy of watching that particular cartoon was watching all the different links and different creative maneuvers, Acme and all that shit that Wile E. Coyote used to go through to try to get the road runner. He tried everything. That's how men are. And so once a man is put into a position where he feel like he don't have to try no more because a woman will make you feel comfortable. But the thing about it is, you should never get comfortable as a man. The reason being, even when you have that person, remember, we've been together 20 years. Somebody else is it's the chase. It's never the catch. So what, I used to write love notes and I used to send flowers and all that kind of stuff and different things like that. Now I've changed some things up over the years because we've matured past a few things, of course, but still some of those simple things now I know, because I've been with her 20 years, I know specifically what she likes. So now I can go
whole questions about that.
Because I can go now and say, I know my baby's not really a big flower girl, but I can still get her some every now and then. You can keep them flowers. She got the brownest thumb. She got the brownest thumb on earth. I'm sorry. Them bad boys are strong. Like you be wasting your money. They're pretty to look at, but you know what? I can go and get her favorite dessert from her favorite dessert place. You know what I'm saying? She loves that because she's a sweet girl. Or, she loves her purses and shoes. Go find what I do is I watch her, because when have you ever bought a purse, Kelsey? Have you ever bought yourself a purse?
Yeah,
keep thinking, because you haven't.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
You haven't.
I haven't. I say what I like. But what to the point of what he's making is you even in the 25 years with 20 not 25 but 21 years, and I'm looking at G Money Man's question. He's saying he's right up in there. So and that's chasing. And what I will say is that you have to study your mate. You are not, whether you're in a committed relationship, whatever you're in, dating, courting, all of that stuff, you still have to study about. And let me tell the listening audience why. Why you have to do this is because the same person you got with at age 22 years old, 30 years old, all of that, there has been some growth and some change in there along the way. You're not married to the same person, or you're not dating the same person that you got with when you first got together. There's been some growth in that thing. And so what they might have liked at year 2, they may not like it no more at year 5. That's why you have to study. You have to always continuously ask those questions.
You're gonna make me holler.
If you don't, you're setting yourself up in the relationship for failure. You have to, because when Ken and I got together, we were young. He was 21 years old. I was 25 years old. He's now 40. What are you? 41?
You got a young man.
42.
Right. I did, and I'm 46. So there's been kids involved. There's been different disagreements, and I'm gonna put this disclaimer out here because it is myself and my spouse on here tonight that we are not the perfect couple. We have gone through some shit. When I tell you we're just like everybody else, we have gone through shit where the lights were cut off. We have gone through where we had to go to marriage counseling. We have gone through where we have almost was about to get a divorce. We have gone through this. What you see now is growth. And again, we're still growing as a couple because now we're transitioning to another phase of our relationship, which is empty nesting.
I have so many questions about that too.
And that's where we are right now.
The comments.
Okay.
Earlier, when we were talking about the $40 chicks, Ms. Brown is on from Facebook, and she said that's a real dumb bitch.
Yep.
Thank you. It is. Because, again, what is your worth? $40 again, and that's a turnoff for men. That is a turnoff because I even have fraternity brothers, friends of mine that are male friends and stuff, that have said that, the first thing they hear from a woman is, "What's your cash app?" Now I'm looking at them like, I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. They asking for your cash app. I misunderstood. These are some dumb people. But again, what are we doing?
And I'm gonna tell you something about that too. Go ahead.
Miss Felicia, who's also from Facebook, was agreeing with you when you were talking about the chase, and we were talking about G Money Man. He's from Periscope. Hey, Periscope, glad to have you. He said that you're right. He's been married for 25 years and he's still chasing. And
better be.
My wife has changed 5 or 6 times. I told her I cheated on her with an earlier version of her. I love that.
Absolutely. That is absolutely.
You are not by yourself because I done cheated on Kendrick on this one here several times. Welcome to the club. I done cheated several times because
Because you continue to grow, and that's what's infuriating. You have those men and women, but in my experience, it's just been men, so I'm going to say it that way, where they did the chase, they got married, they stopped all the shit they were doing to chase you, and then on top of that, they don't want to grow. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
You not, and that's a hard one. That right there. I have girlfriends and friends and people around me that I know that same very situation because we got together and it was all together the first 5-10 years in the marriage and the relationship and it was going all well and stuff, and then everything just completely stopped. You stop dating, you stop talking, and next thing you know, strangers in the same house and not even communicating with each other whatsoever. And I can say to those people who are in that situation right now, as you look at us talk, you gotta hold that, put a hole in that quick, Somebody has to be the bigger person in the relationship and make the first move. Now, I know what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say, well, I've tried that. I tried talking to him and stuff. Well, at that point, you cannot stay anywhere in no relationship, no matter if you've been together 5, 10 years, 25 years, whatever, where the communication has completely broken down. You cannot say, you cannot be the only person in the relationship doing all the work, trying to get them to maybe go out for a cup of coffee. Maybe if you got children, let's see if we can get somebody to watch the kids, which is or do what I used to do, drug the kids where they go to sleep. Drug them with Benadryl or something like that, so we can have.
They just had some.
Drug them because we didn't have babysitters.
It was just allergies.
You sick today. Today you sick. so you gotta find out the why. Again, I tell all couples that I deal with, you gotta find out why. Why did you get together in the beginning? What's your why? What was it in the first beginning? What was that spark like in the first beginning of the relationship? What happened? Now, granted, divorce is real. Let's be honest. Divorce is real because at one point in time, me and this wonderful man on the phone, were going to get a divorce at one point. We were. We were totally on two different paths. We weren't getting along with each other. We were just totally off the beaten path, and it took some real deep conversation to get there. Now, some people don't make it back from that. And I don't want anybody on this that can hear my voice and say the divorce is an ugly word. But after you've done all you can and it's just far gone, then that is an option for you. Because I don't believe that any human being should stay in a relationship when there is no joy, there is no happiness. And Arbor, as you used to hear me say, you can either stay in joy or you can leave in peace. It's one or two. You can't you figure it out.
And I see in my spirit that we're going to be on here. We're going to have to pick a week and do this like for the next 6 months because we got a lot to discuss. So the two questions off of that alone is one, when it comes to spiritual thinking, when it comes to religious thinking, you're not supposed to divorce. Once you're married, you're in this covenant, and you're supposed to stay here and make it work. But one of the things that I learned, especially when it came to my divorce times 2, was the scripture said what God so joined together. Not what I did because I was being a hot in the ass or because I was trying to fulfill my agenda or anything like that. But a lot of people have this issue where they can't separate their religious beliefs from what the scripture really says. So that's one train of thought that we'll have to discuss. And the second one is...
Can you want to check that?
Hang on, because they're both tied together. The second one is so is it okay for me to stop trying? Because that's one of the hugest problems in relationships today is we're in this me generation. And if it doesn't serve me, if I don't benefit from it, if it's not paying me or giving me orgasms, it's not for me. So they're quick to fucking leave. And marriages work. You have to do this constantly. And when you don't, and you just choose the next person, what then? You're going to continually have this cycle of marriage and divorce just to find the next thing. Okay, answers.
Well,
okay.
Let's start from. Go ahead.
I was going to tackle the last part about sticking and staying. I call it sticking and staying. Is what I call it. I call it sticking and staying, and we don't do that. When something, I call it because sticking and staying in the selfishness of us as individuals. We're selfish people. We got to have things absolutely our way. And if it doesn't go away, then the first thing we want to do is tuck tail and run. Now, when we look back at courting and dating back in the day, they didn't tuck tail and run at the first sight of danger, because that's why their marriages and stuff after 30 and 40 years, things that we saw when we were younger during that time. The problem with us and why we won't stick and stay is because we want the microwave relationship. We want things to happen automatically right now. The change right now. We don't want to ask the tough. We don't want to have the hard conversations. We would rather not have confrontation. We would rather just you go over here and do what I say you do. When there's another human being that has his or her right to their thoughts and their feelings and stuff. Now, one thing I will say in the stick and stay is that women I'm going to only speak from the women point of view because I am a woman, is that we stifle a man's voice all the time. We do not give our kings, our men, a voice to have an opinion in the relationship at all. Be our way or the highway. And a lot of times, men and Black men, who my experiences are with, they shut down. So now when you talk about ghosting, when you talk about I can't say nothing because she don't hear anything I got to say, that puts a cloud over a man in his mental. Well, she gonna always have her way anyway, so I might as well just do whatever she want to do, and that's not fair. So then when he feels like he doesn't have a voice, and then again, speaking of sticking his hand, when you're ready to tuck tail and run, guess where he ran to? Another woman who is gonna listen to him. He's cheating. Now we got the side chick. We got all this other stuff going on simply because we didn't allow him to have a voice and speak. And so, and that's from that perspective. And that's what I say. Why does that happen? Because we don't talk to each other. We don't listen to one another, and we don't take in the other person's perspective and feelings. Again, one of the things me and Ken have practiced doing a lot of is that I'm responsible for what I say, not how you feel about it. I am responsible for what I say, not how you feel about it. And you need to take the time to process what I said, because I meant what I said, and I meant this as my feelings, because you're entitled to your feelings, I'm entitled to mine. In some kind of way, we have to come back together. But the problem is, we run. We want to just say fuck it. We ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for the shenanigans. But then that doesn't help your relationship. And then you take that same attitude
instead of meeting my
it's the easiest thing to do.
Instead of putting the time into it, you're just gonna leave and find the next easiest bitch. That's what they do.
Right, exactly. The next person, and then you move it and you take it there.
All right, Chris says that back in the day we had to try harder to communicate. Nowadays, we have all this technology and no communication. Hey, Mo Swag.
Totally agree.
This is one of my co-hosts from the other show on MTG. She says Cash App. That's when we were talking about ladies asking for the Cash App on the first date. She said it's so sad. And that's because men like the chase. Mm-hmm. Once they get you, they're bored. G Money says, now she's a feminist and an activist. I'm like, okay, this will be fun. I'm going to pray for you on that one because that's real. I don't want to be a feminist. Fuck that shit. I'm just saying, I am at a place in my life where I have been that alpha female. I've been that boss bitch for so long. I don't want to do it. I just want to come and find someone who's going to allow me the space to just be in my feminine place. And I've said it over and over again.
Right.
I need someone worthy of submitting to on multiple facets. I'll let you run with that one however you want. Miss Simmons said, that was well said. I'm not playing with you. Hey, I'm saying, hey girl.
Yeah.
If you want to come and say hi.
The one thing
you're hiding.
Hi. One thing, Ken, we were talking about the religions part. How do you know when to fight and stay in there when you've entered a covenant? And for those of us who are very, very convicted with our belief system, when do you say enough is enough and all that? Because I'm going to leave that be. We personally have talked about this, and go ahead, Mr. Gordon.
Are you muted? Let's see.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Say something, sir.
I can hear you.
Okay, there you go. Go ahead, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So, first of all, you understand that a covenant is supposed to be between you, that person, and God. Arbor, you hit on something that is very, very pertinent. It says what God has joined together. When you're in a marriage, you should have gone through something going into that marriage that shows you that this is your person, not sex, not how much you love this person. Something should have in the midst of courtship. There was something that happened between me and Kelsey. For me, showed me that she was the one. And
I need all kinds of details on that.
to this day, that's still there for everybody. But that's what happened for me. I don't even know if that's what happened for Kelsey. If that's what happened for me. You know, so I'm just taking it from that. But people get caught up in the religious, not something that we came upon on our own. Something that was fed to us, force fed to us, really, multiple times a week. Sunday, youth meeting, usher board meeting, choir rehearsal. How many of those different aspects of church were we without our own? You know what I'm saying? Without our own, you know, situation. You know what I mean? Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm here. Yeah, we hear you.
Both of y'all are mute is what it's showing.
I said I lost your sound there for a few seconds.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh, anyway, I mean, like I said, how many of us were just forced into church?
I was born into
Literally.
it. I'm a PK.
Dragged to church just because mom and them said that's what you do. Yeah, born into it. So you had really no choice. And so your religious beliefs came as a result of your parents. It didn't come as a result of you actually getting your own understanding of God. Maybe not until you got older.
Until I had to go through some shit. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And figured out that, okay, this shit. But also, you know, people, and I include even my own mother in this. She said, she told me when I left to go to college, find yourself a church. I didn't go to church. I prayed. I read my Bible, but I didn't go to church when I was in school. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I went to church maybe twice the whole time I was in college. But when I came out, I did start going back to church because I was back living at home with my mom. So that was kind of like, I don't want to hear her mouth. I'm gonna go to church. But I did get involved in the church. I got into church and then even went into ministry. So and when I went into ministry,
was that before marriage or after?
That was literally right as we got married. I kind of transitioned from, because I was always kind of like a youth leader and stuff in my church and doing all those types of things. And I went into ministry about a year, full on ministry, about a year after me and Kelsey got together under my uncle, who was a pastor.
Now, do I look like I'm the first lady?
Wait a minute. But listen, when I met he was up on the stage behind the pulpit and you were first lady, ma'am. That was how I met y'all. That was how I met y'all.
Well, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, I want to say this. I'm going to say this, though. You know, people are what got me out of religion and the church. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, because that's a whole nother show. Oh, but yeah. I stepped away from religion, I stepped away from the church, but I still read and I still pray and I still meditate, but I do it all for myself, my own personal growth. It's not for anything that that's going towards anybody else. And I'm still a good person. I still give, but I give now. I don't give to a church because I watched that. I remember I was taken behind that veil. You know, you're a PK, you kind of might know a little bit about this, but behind that veil of a church, when you get into that business office, it ain't no hallelujah, thank you, Jesus going on. It's the church lights finna get cut off. We need to do a special offering. It's oh my God, the pastor's house is gonna be foreclosed on. We gotta do something for him to help him save his house. Maybe we need to do a love offering for the pastor and just kind of disguise it as appreciation offering or something. It's all that kind of stuff that happens. You know what I'm saying? And I watched that. I was in those back then. I was in those finance rooms. I was in those leaders meetings and stuff like that. And that shit used to piss me off because where does this have to do with serving God and serving his people? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about money for a building. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get away from that. And so now where that ties into where religious standpoint, as far as relationships go, the religion actually needs to be just what the Bible kind of says it is. The religion is literally you, your significant other, and God. That's it.
That's it.
You have to make it. You have to make it that. You have to make that tie. It's a simple soul tie between you and that person, and you all bring God right in the middle of it. God is that glue. Kelsey and I would not have made 1 year, let alone 20 years, without God. So that's where religion, that's where spirituality ties into it for me. You know, so that's where spirituality ties into it to me as far as relationships goes. Because if you go with the church and what the pastor said, if you sitting there and you had a sermon that convicted your spirit, but your spouse is sitting over here looking at the preacher like, when y'all get home and you try to talk that sermon into your spouse, good luck.
You can't do
that's
that.
all I'm gonna say. You can't do that. And that's the other thing. You can't go to one of our siblings do that to their spouse. They tried to preach to their spouse, and their spouse wasn't hearing it. And I laughed because I used to do those things in the beginning of the relationship to Kelsey. When me and her used to go at it, I used to try to preach. I'm the man. I'm the head. You're supposed to follow me. And knowing good and well, I wasn't fully all the way right with God.
I've met Kelsey.
I wasn't fully all the way right with God. And so she looked at me, she like, motherfucker, you could do all that Pastor Ken, Minister Ken shit over there. I know your ass has this asshole I sleep with.
I don't know your ass that I sleep. That part. Arvin, do we have any other questions up on the screen from people?
I don't have any questions at the moment from the audience, but I do have questions.
Okay.
I always have questions.
Okay.
So one of the other questions that I think, it's just me. One of the other things that I have is, and we're just going to go ahead and go all the way there. Test driving the vehicle before purchase. Now, we don't obviously want to give it up too soon, but that's something that has to be done, because if you can't fuck me right, then I'm not going to stay with you. So at what point?
I got something for that. I got something. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
With that one. I don't want to say like that.
Audience is laughing at me right now. But I mean,
don't say it.
I just want to know. Hang on. Go ahead and answer. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Well,
Let's continue. Go ahead.
All right. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer the question. The question is, when do you actually test drive a vehicle to see if you like the vehicle, before purchasing it? Should you go ahead and test drive? Well, this is my standpoint on this, audience. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. There to me needs to be a 60-day window here before we test drive the vehicle. because I feel like I know that we've heard 90-day rule, all that kind of stuff. Some people hide in the pants and need to test it out off top. But I do think there needs to be at least 60 days in there before you actually open up your legs and be giving it up to said individual. It needs to be at least 60 days in there. And because one, I am all for you ladies test driving the vehicle. Why? Because if you can't fuck me right, we not gonna stay together. And that means fuck me how I want to be. I need that. I need that in my life. I need to know if you gonna be if you gonna be landing low and spreading it wide. I need to know exactly what I'm working with. Are we sexually compatible? Because a lot of people, a lot of y'all are not sexually compatible with each other, and that causes a problem as well. You got to be able to listen to each other. So I need to be test driving something. If you've listened to my lives, I told y'all you need to be fucking. If you're not fucking, then why are you not fucking? Now, I know some y'all, some ladies just not as sexually active as others. But for me, and I can only speak for Kelsey, you need to be, I am. I'm going to be, because it's a stress reliever. It brings a connection with you and your sister, a bond. And it's just a natural thing in life. It's just a natural thing. And if that partner is not being fulfilled, and it's just not for the women, because some and they need to be fulfilled. He needs peace. He needs peace and pussy. He wants peace and pussy. And that's just what that is. He wants peace and he wants pussy. And it needs to be both ways. Y'all need to make sure y'all compatible with one another.
And just in case I haven't said it already, this
stretching out to 60 was just to see if this person is worth me really just gapping my leg. We've been on the.
Did we lose you? Okay. So, like I said, just in case I haven't mentioned it, this is an older crowd. We do have strong language, and that's my fucking business. The show is for anybody and everybody, but if you don't like it, move the fuck on. It's a judgment-free zone, and everyone here has their own rights and opinions, and if you don't like it, that's okay. Get the fuck out. I really don't care.
That's okay.
So, back to he needs a piece and a piece.
Yeah, yeah, a piece and a piece, and she need a piece and a piece too at times too, because sometimes those batteries don't work, and sometimes those batteries don't work.
Battery can't grab you.
Say that again.
Battery can't grab you. And grab. Y'all are ladies. Y'all like when a man is strong with you. When if he gripping you a certain type of way, or if he looking at you you need to see that. You need to feel, because all Bob is gonna do is go until he go.
And just a safety.
And then you be like, oh shit.
You grip from the sides, not from the front. Just FYI.
You never grip from the front. That's a whole different type of grip. I was thinking. See, we speaking about 3 different types of grips over here, because it's about 4 or 5.
She's gotta have her grip right too. Tap is, you don't have a WAP without a tap, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. Pretty much. And the thing about you need to get it in. You need to. The thing about it is test your vehicle. You need to know if the person that you're with is somebody that you can actually, when you lay down with them, that y'all gonna, at the end of it, if you both ain't rolling over talking about, oh, that's good, or if you both ain't rolling over and literally after the fact, then you might need to get some things out.
After I'm done with you, because if I do, we got problems.
Exactly. For a bitch, you're gonna have to be like physically unable to understand what the fuck just happened. and then you come back to yourself and be like, all right, that was good. I'm with that. It worked. That's what you need. You need to have somebody.
But here's the thing.
And that's a need on both sides. Thank you. Batteries don't talk back, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Batteries do not talk back.
Hey, sometimes that's needed.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You have to listen to the female's body. Now, some females don't like certain things, certain ways. And I think that men get so caught up in their ego that they're just want to get in there and start pumping and sweating and then and doing this and pounding and shit. And that don't work for all women. That's why we're not compatible, because you got in there got them pumping and sweating and stuff and thinking you're doing something and like, and we like, if you don't have to get off me, And then when we tell you what we like and stuff, then you start accusing. Then some insecure men will tell you, oh, I guess I ain't good enough for you. I ain't good enough.
Now I can say this,
which bothers me.
I can say this, and this irritates my entire soul. Heifers will literally allow them to fuck any kind of way they want, bad and all, to secure the bag or the ring. And then stop fucking after they get married because they didn't like it to begin with.
Why the
don't do that?
Sorry.
Because one, if you don't stay with him, he thinks he's
don't do that.
And then he comes over here, and then I'm gonna have to tell him about himself because he don't know what he's doing. And two, why would you get married and stop having sex? That's how you got him.
That's the
you
deal.
shouldn't get married and stop having sex. You got married. That means you got married for the wrong reason.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fake that shit. If
I said in the beginning, whatever you did to get him,
tell him up front.
Please.
You need to tell them up front.
I would rather. It will not kill my ego. If a woman, I'm 42 years old. Let me tell you something. I'm secure in who I am and what I can do. So if you sit here and tell me what you just did there didn't bust a grape, then I need to go back and what it is. Or how about this? Okay. Tell you what, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start doing this right here. You tell me where you keep it there until you get to where you need.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Before I go to sleep, you're gonna get a nut. At least one.
Okay. See, one, I need y'all to understand, men, if there's any men watching this, if there's any ladies watching this, bitch, one nut is not enough. Don't let nobody walk out the fucking room on one nut. Are you fucking serious? We are women. We are capable of so much more.
Multiple.
Multiple.
And
we ain't doing it right.
Woo! And thank you. We're not doing it right. My head should be blown off. I should be over here sweating to be like, oh my God, can you please get off me? I should be telling you to stop because you've had enough.
Thank you.
I should be telling you to stop because I've had enough. Move. Okay.
Now I will say
one thing, and again,
before marriage, don't give them access to everything prior to.
Don't give it all up.
But
that part.
So we are
say something
at 58 minutes.
But I'm gonna tell you, to my married fellas out there, the best look.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Stop.
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll say the best married gentleman is this right here. If your woman don't stop you in the midst of it and give you a look like, where the fuck did this come from? Every now and again, you ain't doing it right. That's my favorite time is when I do something a little different or when I come a little stronger than normal and she looking at me and she right.
You didn't make
That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Come on now. Kelsey, do you believe this
Okay.
is alive? We might need to talk after the show.
Every now and again, and to my 5 years that's on here, I know 5 years, you look the type of way and been like, motherfucker, what the hell is going on with you? You mind your business. I'm
Mind
just
your business.
right till I'm done.
You just sit there and deal with it. I'll be done in a minute.
I'm with your
Right.
pussy.
We
Right.
can discuss this when
And
I'm
the
Right.
first,
So
that's
you
all you
should
need to
be
know.
listen out this. If you don't get nothing out of this, we telling y'all you need to be fucking and you need to test drive the shit before you get into it. Okay? One, because I know we're up and I know our time is limited. I want to say this to all the people that are listening and watching this stuff. If you're in any type of relationship and you are not happy and you are unfulfilled, then you need to have the conversation. And you don't need to stay in anything just because I don't believe that anybody should stay married because of the children.
Amen.
Or because of
No.
the finances, anything like that. That is an absolute no-no. You are setting yourself up for failure every time you do make those choices. Now, if you're choosing to do that and y'all are done and y'all are just going to stay in the relationship for the children or because you were so financially tied together, then one thing I will tell you guys, if you do that, then you need to have a conversation and you all need to act as if that's the reason y'all there, because you're messing with your children and everything else when you do that, because you're setting them up to think that everything's all hunky-dory and stuff, and it's not. It's not whatsoever. So when I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, if that is your situation, and I don't know why that fell in my spirit, but it did fall in my spirit. I always lead by whatever falls in my spirit when I'm doing any type of relationship coaching or anything like that. If you're doing that type of situation, then you at least as adults need to sit down and set the ground rules of if y'all are going to live in the same house for the children or because of the finances, then you need to set the ground rules, because you have to find some type of happiness. Life does not stop because life is passing you by. You are unhappy and unfulfilled in a relationship. That's not even somebody y'all even having sex with. It's sleep in separate bedrooms, make the partnership be what it is, and actually have the conversation. I think that you're setting yourself up for failure. And again, don't know why this dropped in my spirit. And if it's you that's watching, then let me encourage you right now, sit down with that particular spouse or girlfriend if you're living together, then have that conversation, because there's nothing wrong with saying this is not working between us. We'll stay together for the children, but let's just partner. Let's not even try to pretend that we got a relationship here, because it's not working. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have joy. And that doesn't mean you have to stay in that relationship until the child turns 20 and leave the house before you decide to move away from that relationship.
All right. So at this point, and that's perfectly said in the right timing, because normally at the end of the show, we do our final words, give the people something good, advice, or something good to think about for the week to come. Kim, what do you have?
All I have to say is, in a relationship, seriously listen to your partner. Sometimes ask questions, because you've changed, you've grown, you've evolved. You need to ask questions. You need to talk to one another. Really, really talk and have the conversations that you don't want to have. The reason being is because Kelsey and I had the conversations that we now we're getting closer to having the marriage that we want to have for the remainder of our lives together. So now we're partners.
I love it. Are you frozen? I can't see. Okay, there it goes. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
All right. So I definitely want to get you guys back on, because we have so much more to discuss. We have barely scratched the surface. And I'm going to bring on some other dating people
Right.
to pick your brains, because seriously, we are
Mhm.
legit out here struggling in this ratchet ghetto place. And you know I don't do ghetto. You've met me before. You know I'm not built for the ghetto. I can't do this.
I'm not built for it either. I'm not built for it either, Arbor, at all. And I see it, and my heart breaks. My heart totally breaks, and I look at it, and I'm like, man, why? We have to elevate our standards. We have to get back to courting and dating, and that's what I'm about. I'm all about us getting back to the love and black love at that, because we don't see it. We don't hardly see it now.
We don't have good examples, and that's one of the problems of our culture is we can't do what we've never known. So I want to have you guys back, and we'll go all the way to the beginning of what's courting, and we'll figure this stuff out. So as I say every week, we do the spiritually ratchet thing here, and these are what I consider spiritually ratchet. We're gonna meditate and cuss, eat fruit and wings, hydrate with water and whiskey, or wine in your case, Miss Kelsey. Praise the Lord, pray for spinal health, and that's what makes us spiritually ratchet. I have so
we're spiritually ratchet over here.
We are all the way ratchet.
We thank you so much. We thank you
after we get off.
Yes.
And I will plan on having you out. Everybody that's watching, we appreciate you. Please go and follow Miss Kelsey and Mr. Ken. You can find them on Facebook under Kelsey and Ken. And let's see. G Money says this was a good channel. I like the honesty. Well, we definitely appreciate you being here. That is one thing we will always do, is be honest.
Thank you. Thank you.
So have a great week. Merry Christmas. We will see you after Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We love you guys. Have a great
Christmas,
night.
everybody.
Love you guys.